Come on, we've all done it. More work on the Harrier. Hello, welcome to another edition of Scale Model Club with me, Maly. In this edition, we'll be looking at the undercarriage, and that is rubber black XF85, which will be painting the wheels. The tyres on the wheels. This is me with a microphone, so you might all be able to hear what I'm saying now. The parts on the model have all been undercoated, and they've all been given a coat of light compass grey from MIG Ammo. It's 203. MIG 203 is the colour model, and they've all been spray painted or airbrushed with that. And now I'm just gonna paint the tyres. Hope this is coming through all right. This is new. How bad can it be? But at least you can all hear what I'm saying. It's been a good model so far. I'm liking it. It's nice. It's gone together well. It's got some nice detailing on it. Yeah, I can recommend it for almost anyone. Maybe not the complete beginner, because there's a few little bits and pieces on it. But and it's a bit awkward to mask up. But you know, we saw that in the last one. Bit tricky this. It's one of my pet hates doing the tyres. I always paint the wheels first and then the tyres. I don't actually know if it's better or worse the other way round, but I've always been told to paint the lighter colour first. If only you could see the concentration on my face. Also, while you watch me paint the tyres, you could like, subscribe, push that notification button, make a comment. So that's the tyres painted. Looking pretty spectacular, if I say myself. Now we're coming up to building the landing gear itself. That's the front landing gear needs to be two parts. Oh well, three parts including the wheel and tyre. So you have to put the tyre on, clamp the landing stage together, glue them, then put them on the aircraft. I've got to be honest. I've only ever built 3 Harriers. The first one was when I was very young, built a Sea Harrier, and I will do another Sea Harrier because that's my favourite looking Harrier. I don't like the elongated nose on these army ones and these GR3s and stuff. I think it just looks a bit funny. But the landing gear is always the most difficult thing to get to set right, because you've only got 2 front and back, and then obviously you put the little wing wheels on, and everything has to sit on the floor, and it's not as easy to get set up as you think, especially when you have to let half of it dry before you fit it. Pegs, clips, always a good idea. Don't like these ones so much. I mean, I've got hold of them. They're fine if it's flat. Your two flat pieces, not a problem. Anything a bit awkward and it's difficult. I must look for some like long nose clamps, but mainly a peg is epic. You'd be surprised what you can do with a peg. So this is the rear landing gear. This one's particularly difficult because you have to stick both the wheels on either side, let that dry, and then put it in. Although airfix on this kit, the front wheel on that one I haven't glued, so it should turn. The only reason I've done that is because it has a flat spot to show weight of the aircraft. So they've flattened off the bottom of the tyre so it looks like the aircraft sat on the tyre. Now the two rears haven't done that. I don't know why, because they've actually got a square peg, so you can either put it upside down or the right way round. So you need to put these two on and then leave it, let it dry before you go and muck about with it, because I think I don't let this dry long enough and I do have some problems with it, but you know, we'll see. You'll also notice there's a lot of bits missing on the black paint of the tyres. This is stuff that gets touched up when I'm near the end of the stages where I can sit. I put the aircraft down. There's no point in painting the bottom of the tyres because it sits on the tyres. So what I tend to do is sit it down, have a good look at it, and then just touch up the little bits you can see. Now I'm painting the silver for a lot of the hydraulic stays and stuff. That's my plate, or my palette. I should really get a nice little palette with lots of little things in, but the missus never noticed I nicked the saucer. And that is a brilliant paint. That is what I used to use is the polished Humble stuff, but then when I started to get into airbrush and I realised you can't really, well, you can airbrush if you thin it down a bit, but I'd gone off the Humble paints. But so I looked through, and this stuff is really good. It's a Vallejo's acrylic metal colour. It comes in lots of different colours. This one is aluminium, and the only reason I picked aluminium was because I was doing something aluminium at the time, but there's lots of different shades. But the good thing about this, what you really need to do is you need to paint the item a gloss black first, and then you can paint this over the top. I mean, have a look around on YouTube. There'll be I think you can actually buy a specific primer that goes with it, but that was all a little bit expensive for me. I was just looking for a silver, so I might invest in more of them, but I'm not 100% sure if you can polish it or not. I mean, I did like the Humble one because you could. I mean, I did a couple of P51s in it, and then polish them. You can polish them with a cloth and get a really nice shine on them. But that Vallejo stuff's got a really nice colour. I don't use anything that is enamel. Everything I use is water based, apart from some of the washes. And the only reason for that is I don't really have enough room for. It's because I haven't got enough room for a spray booth and stuff. So I have a little sort of a backdrop so that the spray doesn't go everywhere. But it's not poisonous, as it were. Obviously, you still want to do it in a ventilated area. You don't want to breathe it in too much and wear a mask. But I know that some of the L-clad stuff and some of the enamel paints are very nasty, and you have to wear a respirator. But apologies for keep taking it off camera. It's mainly because I'm looking at it and the camera's pointed at the desk, and what I need is a camera that goes overhead. But as soon as I get some money together, I must get one of those. But the microphone came first because you've all got to hear what I'm saying. So now I've got some of the same colour that I used for the camouflage, because these are the wheel bay doors, undercarriage doors. That colour was dark green also from Ammo MiG. I think that's Ammo MiG 915. and it's yeah, dark green. So I'm painting the outside of that dark green, and I painted the inside the ghost grey colour. There's my undercarriage, looking superb. Right, that's my panel liner. That's the also ammo MIG. You notice there's a lot of ammo MIG products, but it's because they're quite easy to get hold of in this part of the world. And that is the panel liner. I'm just trying to find it to tell you what it is. It's Black Knight. No, it's not Black Knight. It's something else. Anyway, I think I'll show you the tin. So it's a panel liner. All you do is cover the cover it, and it makes everything look a bit dirty. So you dip your paint in it, dip your brush in it, brush it onto the thingy, and you'll find that the dark black goes into all the recesses and makes it really black, and and it'll tone down the colour of anything you've put on. So if you're going to put a wash on something, because that's what that's a panel line, but if you're going to put a wash on something, always be aware that your paint will tinge darker. So if you're going to put, like, you know, if you're going to do a desert vehicle, sometimes if you use desert yellow, it's too dark to start with. So if you go and put like a buff on it, and you look at it and think, oh, that's too light, but by the time you've got the wash on it and the dirt and everything else, you'll find it'll darken the paint down just about right. It's something you need to test and muck about with on a spare bit of spare model. We've all got them. If you've got a model that you've gone wrong, or it's been sat in a cupboard, you don't feel like finishing or whatever, always use it as a test piece. Here we are fitting the undercarriage after the wash and the clean. This is a little bit tricky, mainly because you're trying to hold the aircraft, not snap bits off, and get that undercarriage to look right and straight. A little bit of glue, looks lovely. Okay, next part is the nose cone, because obviously I've got no nose on it because I've been using that to hold the aircraft. So there's no nose cone on it at the moment, so same as everything else. Snip them from the sprue with your side cutters, and clean them up with your sandpaper. I don't think I do because I get them close enough, or I think what you'll find is I'll stick them together and then I'll give them a coat of sand before I stick them on the aircraft. But yeah, a little bit of extra thin glue, stick it together, get the aerial on the front all lined up nicely, a little bit of glue on there just to hold it in place, and then stick the two halves together. Job done. There's the aerial going on. A little bit of extra glue. Good stuff, that extra thin glue. That's almost changed modelling from when I can genuinely remember the first time that it changed from like that poly cement to the liquid cement that Humble did, and it was like, ooh, this is nice. No more having to sand off fingerprints. All you old modelers will know what I mean. Beautiful. So after fitting the front carriage, gluing the wheels on the rear, we'll get the well, what we'll do next is there's a couple of little clear pieces to fit on the aircraft. So what I do first is use the Vallejo aluminium colour that I spoke to you before and fill the hole in with aluminium. That way you get a shine back from the inside. You then grab the clear part and paint that with some red clear. Stick the clear part onto the thing, and the aluminium colour will shine through the clear, and it just makes the red a little bit more noticeable. Well worth buying the clear colours. So I think I've got red clear, green clear for obviously port and starboard, and then I've got an orange clear for the indicators on cars. But it's a brilliant paint, and it looks really good. Makes so much difference to actually just painting it, you know, an orange or a red. Really makes it look like glass. Hope everybody's enjoying the video. I certainly enjoyed making this one. Just don't forget to like, subscribe and push the notification button. Also, wing over to Russell at the from spade to fork. He's doing all kinds of things with gardening and allotments. And obviously it's the pair of us trying to get this community channel going so that people can have a look at the channel, and and anyone can post anything they like on there. We'd love to see other people's working models, love to see other people's allotments or anything. I mean, check with us first, and any interest you've got, any hobbies, come and see us. Right, so having built all the extras to go on the bottom of the aircraft, we're now going to give them a bit of an undercoat. The undercoat I'm using is the Vallejo grey undercoat, Ghost Grey primer, surface primer. 73.615 is the code. Never used to like it, struggled with it. With my cheaper airbrush, I really struggled with it. With my new airbrush, don't have a problem, love it. It's also a slight filler, so it goes on nice. The only thing you need to do is have a fact is you need to let it dry. If you don't let it dry and paint over the top of it, you end up with the old silicone fish eyes. So make sure you let it dry. Obviously, us here on YouTube, I'm desperately trying to get the model finished to get the next one out. Well, if I'm honest, I'm desperately trying to get the model finished so I can start the next one, because the next one is epic. So that's the fuel tanks, and the fuel tanks are painted in the same green that I did the rest of the camo in. I think it's dark green, and it's the standard dark green from a dark green Royal Air Force camo. So the dark green from Vallejo or the dark green from anyone really. So coming near the end of the video now, and hopefully I'll get all those pieces stuck on the Harrier. Then we're going to give it a wash, some weathering, and then a final flat coat and some photographs for the next episode. And I'll see you then. Make sure you like and subscribe, please.